As of March 2025, I've now officially spent more than half of my time on this earth sucking at League of Legends. Like many of you watching this video, I've played thousands of solo queue games, season after season after season, only to end up in the exact same place I started in, gold. I've never been able to climb on my own, and now that I'm cursed with 26-year-old boomer hands, I fear as though my dream of being a high elo League of Legends player is behind me. That was until I discovered Metafy, the OnlyFans for sweaty Sigma gamers. It's a glorious internet marketplace where you can pay for some random dude on the internet to coach you in your favorite competitive video game, which totally doesn't sound like a massive scam. Now, as I was window shopping on Metafans, there was one coach in particular who had a special package that immediately caught my eye. For the low price of only $500, I could purchase his Get Me to Diamond bootcamp, where he would coach me to, you guessed it, quote, a minimum of diamond. Alrighty, here it is, guys. Get Me Diamond rank, $500 dues. Oh, which brings my total give him a good tip, which brings my total to $562 and, of course, 69 cents. This will either be the best or the worst financial decision I've ever made, and that includes buying the fucking Gacha Garen skin. Demacia! This is for you guys. This is for you guys. I love you.
God, bro. Oh, hell no, man. What the...
It's done. I am now officially paying someone to coach me to Diamond. Oh, I don't know how that feels. So, will this sketchy League of Legends coach magically make all my money disappear, or miraculously help me go from being hard stuck for a decade to hitting my dream rank of Diamond? Well, I hired this $500 League of Legends coach to find out. I went into my first coaching session with no idea what to expect. Thankfully, Amber, my $500 coach, was quite well rated on the Metafy platform, and had some pretty great reviews from previous clients. Hello?
Hey!
For Amber and I's first session together, we surprisingly didn't start in ranked playing my main role of top. Instead, we chose to do a live normal game in the jungle. Because, number one, I was ready for a bit of a change. If I am definitely going to play jungle, which I think I should, I'm ready to try a new rollout, and I've always been interested in jungle, but it's been too intimidating for me to actually play. And number two, he felt like jungle was the best role for me to climb in.
Jungle is a rule that allows you to control the flow of the game.
So, just like that, after 13 years of being a hard-stuck top laner, I was now a jungle main, with 0 games of experience. Another big benefit for the sake of this video is that now I'm going into these sessions completely blind, relying fully on my coach's wisdom to guide me in the jungle. So you'll really know if this coaching is working or not. For our jungle intro, Amber asked me to give Xin Zhao a try. And honestly, things weren't perfect, but it went a lot better than I thought it would. Okay.
Yeah, after actually take this,
Yeah.
smite and then gangbot.
Okay. Okay, that's pretty juicy. Okay, I'm going. I'm gonna go on Varus. Not just going.
Just E.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't try to aim for the W if they are in your E range.
Okay.
Reset.
See Talia. Oh.
Here you go. You could jump on her. There. Okay, good. Use your. You're fine. Yeah.
Uh-oh. What should I have done?
Good
Uh-oh.
damage. Oh, jump on it. Jump on it. Okay, that's it. Flash away.
Ah.
That's fine. It's all good. Okay, we can turn on her.
Okay.
Go fight.
Ah.
E. Okay, we still get her.
Nice.
Keep going.
Keep going. Okay.
Now let's just end the game.
Okay. Okay, well, that was, like, not that bad.
In this game, is like you want to use what is happening as like a structure.
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing this, doing that, doing there, going from here to here.
After our first jungle victory, my coach ended the session by walking me through a checklist of things he wanted me to focus on during my first week of practice, so I could take my climb more seriously.
The more quiet environment you have, your brain will focus more in the game. Make sure that you are very hydrated. Making sure that your hands are warm. So you will need to watch your VOD. So play the moment you feel you are tired or you cannot focus anymore or you are tilted.
This all seemed like very reasonable advice, and a good way to not only set myself up for success every day, but also ensure I wasn't just running it down every game and not understanding why.
Back to the lobby.
As for my champion pool, Emmer wanted me to make a champion that I could hard carry games with, so he recommended that I give Kindred, Xin Zhao, and Jarvan all a try in normal games for the next week. Try normal games? He explicitly said normals. There was no way it was time for me to jump into ranked just yet. At the end of my first session with the $500 coach, I was honestly feeling pretty excited for what was ahead. My coach had given me a great list of things to work on to take my climb more seriously, helped me switch into a new role, and just seemed like a pretty chill dude. All in all, I was not hating my $500 investment, yet. So, over the next week, as instructed, I made sure to implement all of these changes into my routine as I grinded normals for the first time as a jungler. Out of the 3 champions my $500 coach got me to try, I really liked both Kindred and Xin Zhao. Jarvan, though, he was kind of the odd one out for me. I absolutely loved playing jungle in these normals, and went 11-4 in my first 15 games. I finally had so much freedom to impact the map after being locked up in top lane for so long, and it was a much needed change of pace. All of a sudden, in just a week's worth of coaching, I'd gone from being an apathetic, hard-stuck top laner to a hard-winning jungler with a brand new routine focused on making me a better player. So far, this coach had given me a brand new lease on League of Legends, and I thought the only direction left for me to go was up. But little did I know that I was already at the peak of Mount Stupid. After feeling like the king of the jungle for a week, I went into my next coaching session eager to play some ranked. So my $500 coach and I hopped into my first solo queue jungle game together, and it was a complete and utter disaster. Oh, dude, I was playing so well.
Why?
Dude,
It's
I'm
okay.
so embarrassed. I was playing
No,
this
no,
champ
it's fine.
so well before. What's going on?
No.
That was not
Okay.
what I wanted to show you, but
Yeah.
my Kindred, which I fell in love with during normals, got dumpstered on, and I was useless for almost the entire match. For anybody who's heard of the Dunning-Kruger effect before, then you'd know this was a perfect example of it. The definition of the Dunning-Kruger effect is the tendency of people with low ability in a specific area to give overly positive assessments of this ability. So basically, when you're learning a new skill, your confidence is at an all-time high, because you think you're the shit. But you don't yet know what you don't know. Then, one way or another, you have a massive wake-up call, tumbling your way down Mount Stupid into the Valley of Despair. My coach didn't want me to dwell on what we both knew wasn't my best showing, so we decided to quickly forget about that game and chat about my goals for the upcoming week. Firstly, we decided to put Kindred on the shelf for now, and move to my close second favorite pick, Xin Zhao. He was just a more familiar champion for me to pick up, coming from playing a lot of top lane bruisers. Then, all he wanted me to do was just get more comfortable playing Xin Zhao in ranked. He wanted me to try out ruins, item combinations, farming, ganking, everything. I just had to get some more games under my belt after such a rude ranked awakening.
Yeah, relax, take a break and try one by yourself and let's see.
Okay,
Okay.
will do.
Okay,
All right.
fine.
Thanks, Samir.
Okay, I thank you
Yeah.
and see you later.
See you later. Bye. Ugh. Guys, I played so well on my own, and then I do this live game and I just fucking shit bricks. Ugh. So I followed my coach's instructions again and got to grinding for the next week. The rest of my promos on Xin Zhao went better in terms of my KDA. There we fucking go! How did that miss? Okay, we got the FF. But not much better in terms of results. Well, we are starting in Silver 3. As the week went on, unfortunately for me and my mental state, my games did not get much better. Yes, I was following my coach's instructions by going through the jungle growing pains, but man, it sucked to lose all the fucking time. My ego definitely took a bit of a hit for losing so much in low silver, and it caused me to get pretty tilted whenever I made a mistake. Of course I'm gonna get fucking Nocturne. What was very helpful though was VOD reviewing all my losses, so I was no longer completely blind to all the mistakes I was making. Shout out to my coach for forcing me to do that. Okay, massive mistake. What am I doing? Why am I full? I know it's a 1v2, and I take it. I take the 1v2. Am I fucking stupid? I was making so many misplays every single game, but the mistakes that were catching my eye at the time were my mechanical misplays. It was pretty obvious watching these clips that I was new to the champion and needed some help maximizing his kit, which is exactly why in my next session with the $500 coach, I asked him to help me get two things under control: my mental and my mechanics. I explained to Emmer that I got easily tilted for my mistakes, and he gave me a really good reality check in terms of my progress up to this point, reminding me that I just started playing a brand new champion in role 2 weeks ago. Progress was going to take time. He also reminded me that every game in low elo was winnable. Mistakes happen everywhere. I could always come back and capitalize on other people's errors. Now, because I'm a total goof, I accidentally had my coach muted in OBS while we were talking about this stuff, so you're just gonna have to believe me this was the conversation we had, because the footage is literally just me blabbing to myself. Like a hit to the morale, you know, because like, oh my god, like how am I losing in fucking silver, like low silver? Yeah, I know, exactly. So that's why I have to kind of... After we had that conversation and I reset my expectations, we jumped into a VOD review where, based on my request, we focused on my Xin Zhao mechanics. Since in our last session, my coach just told me to kind of fuck around, it was now time to find out what I could do to improve my Xin Zhao micro. And he made a lot of good points.
Your ultimate can block any basic attacks behind, like, before the circle and any attacks.
Yeah.
So here you made your W, you should run. You kept going, you used your ultimate. And you used your ultimate, now he's jumping in, you fighting, but your ultimate is over.
Yeah.
That's why you are done. The mistake you did here is, you missed your W on here.
Yeah.
Stop! Your W is a huge damage. Your W is a damage for you, for your champion. So if you missed it in the beginning, there is no point in going in like this. There's no point.
Okay.
Retreat.
Run. Okay.
Yeah, because if you kept going in without your W, you will not one-shot her. You will not do enough damage.
Okay.
So she will be able to survive, and then she will turn on you because you don't have tools to re-engage.
Okay.
For now.
Yeah, that makes sense. First off, I had to better combo my abilities. Like, for example, waiting until I get my knock-up on my final Q charge before using my W to guarantee the damage. Second, I needed to make better use of my ultimate for its disruption, target selection, and protection capabilities. There were lots of times I was wasting my ulti just for meaningless damage. And third, I had to learn when to back off an engagement on Xin Zhao. If I whiffed my W on a target, I had to run away instead of hard commit, as that was a lot of damage I no longer had access to in my kit. I had to wait for my W to come back off cooldown, and then try again. With that VOD review and advice, my $500 coach and I were out of time for the session. But I really appreciated everything that we covered here. He got my head back on straight in terms of tilt, as well as helped me see some of the weak spots with my Xin Zhao mechanics. And thank God I had that session when I did, because in my first game back on the Rift, my tilt training was put to the test. I got off to a really rocky start and felt my emotions wanting to take over. That wasn't my... Okay, what's going on here? Okay, it's okay. But after keeping cool, calm, and collected, I started to slowly reel the game back in, instead of letting it get completely out of control. There we go, huge kill. And it actually worked. Have to go in here. I'm happy that we stayed calm and composed, even though we got off to a really, really rough start. We tilted a little bit, but we were able to stay calm. I don't know what it is about this goddamn roll. There we go. Oh, I cannot believe. Oh, we turned that game around so hard. Just like that, my confidence shot back up, and I knew that if I could keep my cool after doing something stupid, every game was winnable. My team's gonna end without me. That's another motherfucking GG. GG? Yes! I kept on climbing with my newfound stoicism and made it into gold for the first time as a jungler. It felt good to be back home. After I got my tilting more under control, I started to focus on all my mechanical misplays. I properly sequenced my abilities to improve damage output, and also used my ultimate more effectively to block damage, create space, or single out one target. For the first time, I felt confident loading into every match. I started mechanically outplaying enemy junglers, turning the tide in skirmishes, and making a difference in team fights. Everything seemed to be going my way this week. My win rate was now above 50%, I was climbing like crazy, and feeling like I was well on my way out of the Valley of Despair 3 weeks into my $500 coaching journey. That was until I had my next session. For our fourth session together, Emmer wanted to work on something that strikes fear into the hearts of loyal players. Macro.
Okay, the best way to work on macro is, in my opinion, is a live game. I want to see how you are thinking in the moment.
Okay. He wanted us to jump into a live game where he would tell me what to do, so I could see how he would play a game on Xin Zhao in comparison to how I would.
But yeah, sure, gangbang. But keep it checking.
And we're gonna walk around here.
Bing, 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 bing,
Right.
bing. Go eat. Nice.
Okay. Right away, I noticed how much more proactive and aggressive Emmer was than me. He put way less of an emphasis on passive farming in the first few minutes, and instead gave up camps to apply loads of pressure through early ganks, snowballing himself and his teammates.
You have to always look for a channel because this is your the champion works this way. You need to do an early pressure or
you get so much blind. Like, so for example, the one gank you did top, okay, it changes the entire game for top side. Now Volibear is snowballing
Yeah.
because of one gank.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
We can win this.
Yeah, I think so too.
Oh, nice. Keep attacking. Switch. Nice. Keep attacking. E.
Okay, nice. I'm gonna go for Dragon.
Help, Misfortune. Where are you going? Help. Keep going. Who's going to kill you? No
Yeah,
one is
yeah,
you.
you're right.
This is our chance. Flash. Yes. Good job. W. Keep going. Nice. Enough.
Yeah,
Now push the minion.
yeah.
And yeah.
Of course, we ended up winning the match due to Emmer's great ganks and decision making, and I was sold on playing more aggressively because of how quickly you could take over a game.
Nice.
Whee! Okay. After the match, we did a VOD review where Emmer gave me a checklist of what I should do in the early game to be as aggressive as possible. Number 1, identify the most gankable lane based on champion select and path in that direction. In champ select, we're essentially assessing the lanes. Misfortune Amelia, you're saying, fuck no. Like, can't gank that. But this top lane match, we definitely can, because we got a Volibear for great setup. It's into a Briar's week early, and that's, from my understanding, why we made that decision to go top, right?
100%.
Okay, great. Number 2, do your red, blue Gromp, or blue Gromp red, and then gank your selected lane at level 3 with double buffs. Do you always recommend triple, like, double buff Gromp gank?
I prefer 3 camps and gang all the time.
Okay. Number 3, after your first gank, go back to finish farming, but always be watching nearby lanes or objectives for the chance to keep fighting and snowballing the game. Now it's just all about whenever I see an opportunity, even if I'm like farming something, like even if it screws up with my like tempo, quote unquote, I should just go run to the fight.
Yep.
Okay.
Agreed.
Okay. Now this is all great, and Emmer's right. By playing more aggressively, you can totally take over the game on Xin Zhao, if you know what you're doing. And what I very quickly found out, I do not know what I'm doing. I had not yet been coached through how to properly evaluate these early game macro plays to know if they were going to pay off or not. I just let my coach make all the calls, and I'd follow them blindly without knowing why we were making that play, or how to pull it off if I was playing on my own. Yeah. This led to an interesting scenario, where the aggressive style felt great when I had a challenger player making all the correct decisions for me, but as soon as I was out on the Rift trying to find my own aggressive plays, I'd almost certainly fuck it up. You're kidding me, man. What bothered me the most is that I didn't feel like my coach set me up for success with its aggressive game plan. I had no idea if these aggressive plays I was going for were the same plays Emmer would, because he didn't show me how to evaluate these plays for myself. Why can't I flash? What the fuck are you doing? This led to frustrating loss after frustrating loss after frustrating loss, as I just kind of sent it for the boys, hoping for the best with these aggressive plays. Some games, it did work out. In other games, it really didn't. Even though our first few sessions went so well, I now started to lose confidence in my $500 coach, as I felt like I'd been led astray macro-wise in the session, and all those good habits I'd built up in our first few sessions began to erode away. I stopped reviewing my own VODs, started to tilt again, made more mechanical misplays, and rage queued my way far beyond 2 losses in a row. Also, to add even more salt to the wound, my coach got sick with the flu when we were supposed to have a Fallout macro session, so I got stuck in this loop of death for not the usual 1, but 2 weeks worth of games. When all the dust had settled from this disaster of a session, I'd played more games in the past 2 weeks than I had in the previous 3, only to hit an all-time low 44% win rate and demote back down to Silver 1. I guess things have been going a little too well for my $500 coach, and I started to slide back down into the valley of despair. Emmer and I started our 5th session talking about how the past 2 weeks of games went for me. Either I'm not playing the mid game properly, my game plan in general just isn't there, my tempo gets fucked, it just feels like there's one bad play. and then the game just gets like completely lost.
It's okay. Let's fix it. Share your screen and start again.
Okay. He thought that the best way for me to combat this losing streak was to do another live game so that I can have a reset and better grasp his aggressive style. Unfortunately though, this session ended up being very similar to our last one, where I just kind of ran around the map doing whatever he told me to do,
Just go for your camps. Just full clear camps now.
not really learning anything in the process.
Go for the camps. Fine. Take the scatter crab. Okay, farm your entire jungle now. Yeah, reset bite.
Okay,
Okay, go for your bot side and clear it.
okay.
Now farm everything in your jungle. Go straight for the dragon.
Except this time, we fucking lost.
Okay, GG. So, I can see why are we struggling.
This aggressive strategy my $500 coach was pushing wasn't even able to get me a win in goddamn silver. And I was really having my doubts about whether or not this whole plan would work for me, which is why at the end of the session, I decided to make a change. So, you know what? For the rest of this week, I'm just going to take a break from his coaching session. I'm going to find free advice online, and we're going to see what my games look like, just from following free advice now. My goal with this video is to show all of you whether this was worth it or not. And that's when I discovered Perry Jungle. Perry is a high challenger pro jungle coach who makes some genuinely amazing coaching commentary videos for beginner junglers. He does a wonderful job simplifying the jungle role for new players and gives you a super easy game plan to follow. Something I desperately needed after the past 2 weeks. What's funny about Perry's recommended playstyle is that it's basically the opposite of what my $500 coach wanted me to do. So out of pure interest, I decided to try it in my next game. Instead of doing my usual 3 camp into gank, I full cleared my entire jungle from top to bottom. Instead of doing a risky bot gank with no items, I simply recalled, spent my gold, and headed to my top camp respawn. And instead of wasting time looking around the map for plays, I was efficient with my time, slowly accruing a gold and experience lead over my opponent. Perry suggested that every game as a new low elo jungler, I should stay super disciplined on farming my camps, not ganking. This is because farming consistently as a new player teaches you the power of jungle tempo, eliminates risk, and gives you exact timers around when to fight. And those timers were when you completed your items. Because you're farming so efficiently in low elo, you'll usually finish your items faster than your opponents, and you can use that completed item power spike as your cue to fight. And then you just rinse and repeat the same game plan over and over again, assuring you keep snowballing and always fight with an item advantage. Farm up, hit an item spike, take a fight. Farm up, hit an item spike, force an objective. This was the basic but necessary jungle fundamentals I was missing in my sessions with my $500 coach. What's annoying is that instead of him teaching it to me or telling me where to go look for it, I had to go fucking find it myself, after paying $500 for this coaching. Now I knew what it felt like to have tempo on my opponent instead of always being behind. I understood when and why I should fight. And now instead of just running around the map trying to be proactive all the time, I had certain windows of the game where I knew I could be proactive based on the game state. I was playing smart, disciplined League of Legends for the first time in this challenge, and saw some amazing results because of it. A little bit there. You die? Still level 5. Yeah, just kill them all. Yo, how? I am doing... It's not even close. We're back. Just like that, we're back. Mission here. promoted. Oh, we're climbing so fast too now. I had now officially climbed out of the Valley of Despair and was well on my way up the slope of enlightenment. I went all the way from Silver 1 to Gold 2 in just 6 days by essentially disregarding the fight first mentality of my $500 coach and following these free videos instead. However, there was still 1 day left in the week, and I just so happened to have a coaching session booked for this day. Maybe now that I had this new game plan, he could give me some tips to help me better integrate his aggressiveness into my games. But unfortunately, he had to cancel for a very understandable reason. I went into my last day riding solo, following the free macro advice I'd found on YouTube, and this is what happened. There we go. Nice play. Well played, well played, well played. That's it. Just keep them coming. Keep them coming. No fucking way. What a dumb game. We won though. That's all that matters. I'm just gonna win the game. I'm just gonna win the game. I'm just gonna win the game. Boom, baby! 4 in a row. Come on. I won 4 games in a row to end off the week, getting me to a new peak rank of Gold 1 17 LP. My win rate also increased from 44% to 51% in just 7 days. Over the course of this 6-week experience, I went from having never played jungle in ranked before to playing it at the same level I've been hardstuck at as a top laner for years. I made so much progress in such a short amount of time, and now I'm curious as to where I could climb to over the rest of the season. What was disappointing though is I felt like a big portion of that progress didn't come from my $500 coach. Instead, it came from free resources online. And I was going to express that frustration to him in our next session. To make up for our missed session, my $500 coach and I met up the following day to discuss how things went, and I gave him an honest review with how I was feeling about my experience so far. The issues that I'm having is the advice that I was getting from watching just some free YouTube videos. That is what caused me to skyrocket in rank. Things obviously hadn't gone smoothly over the past couple weeks, and we both agreed that changes had to be made. Instead of doing the 3 camp into going somewhere or, kind of running around the map trying to react to a lot of things, I just stuck with one game plan and really focused on my farming and my tempo. And that change is what caused me to climb. So almost like a 180 from what was originally being recommended in our coaching. And so, that was, honestly a little disappointing. I was very happy with how well he took my criticism, actually, and he was glad for me that I'd found a playstyle I was more comfortable with. I'm taking it quite seriously.
Sure, maybe.
And
I understand. Maybe the play style I was trying to teach you, it doesn't suit you.
What was also really nice to see is he immediately made changes to his coaching style to better fit me and my new playstyle. First of all, no live game, which I was quite happy about, as they just weren't really working for me at this time. And second, while we were in the VOD review, instead of just telling me what to do, he gave me explanations as to why certain changes in my gameplay were important, as well as how to properly execute them. After the session was finished, he sent me a convenient list in Discord covering all the things we talked about that acted as my homework. I much preferred how this session went in comparison to my last few, and it reinstilled my confidence in my $500 coach because of how well he was able to adapt to my requests. As for my review of the coaching up to this point, I think it's pretty obvious that after these 6 sessions and 6 weeks of gameplay, I cannot recommend him yet. Yes, he has been exceptionally kind and accommodating. Our first few sessions were amazing, but I just can't get past how frustrating those middle sessions were for me as a new jungler. We skipped over so many basic jungle fundamentals, like camp respawn timers, tempo, and decision making, that I just felt so lost when trying to solely replicate his style. And it really sucks that after paying $500, I had to go looking for all these basics myself. Honestly, after seeing how good these free videos are, it's hard for me to recommend any level of coaching if you're a new jungler like me, when you have such amazing content like this for free on YouTube. However, this recommendation could completely change. I've got a lot of sessions left in this Get Me to Diamond bootcamp, and my $500 coach may become a huge asset in my journey through high elo. So if you want to see the continuation of this experience, where I try to hit Diamond in only 1 year as a jungler, or just enjoy watching me do this stupid shit so you don't have to do it yourself, then be sure to subscribe so you can see what happens next with me and my $500 coach. Hi everyone, thank you all so much for watching. Really quick here at the end, this video took me like 2 months to put together completely, so if you enjoyed it, like leaving a like, a little comment, subscribe, all that stuff to show your support and that you're enjoying this stuff, it would mean the world. These, like I said, these videos take a shit ton of time to put together and a lot of money, so they're a big passion project and I really, really want to keep doing them. So let me know down below what you thought, what you want to see differently, all that stuff. It's really, really important to me. So anyways, thank you all so much for watching. I appreciate you. You guys are the best. And I hope you enjoyed it. And you'll see more of me soon. Okay, bye.